Meet Mickey Cohen. He ran illegal betting games and killed people. He controlled all the crime in Los Angeles. But his story is just where we start. These old police photos have been given new life using computer technology. They show us the real faces of America's most dangerous criminals. Charles, Pretty Boy, Floyd robbed banks across the country. But lots of people loved him. Why? He gave stolen money to families who had nothing. The FBI hunted him down and killed him when he was still young. Lucky Luciano changed organized crime forever. He created a system where crime families worked together instead of fighting each other. He ran all of New York's criminal activity. Even when the government sent him away, he still had power. Al Capone owned Chicago's criminal world when alcohol was illegal. He acted like a celebrity in public, but behind closed doors he was a killer. Police connected him to many murders. In the end, the government got him for not paying his taxes. Johnny Rosselli was the mob's connection to Hollywood. He was smooth, well-connected, and dangerous. Later, he even helped the CIA try to kill Castro in Cuba. John Dillinger became America's most wanted criminal. He robbed banks and escaped from prison multiple times. People saw him as a folk hero. The FBI finally shot him down outside a movie theater. Vito Genovese led one of America's strongest crime families. He was cruel and wanted everything. He tried to control all organized crime in the country and almost succeeded. Joe Masuria was among New York's first big crime bosses. He had lots of power but didn't trust anyone. His own gang members betrayed him and had him killed. Machine Gun Kelly became famous for kidnapping a rich oil businessman. He was loud and made stupid mistakes. But it was actually his wife who planned the whole thing. Meyer Lansky was the smartest money person in the mob. He stayed quiet and thought everything through carefully. All the big crime bosses trusted him with their cash. Babyface Nelson looked like an innocent kid. But he killed more FBI agents than any other criminal in history. He died in a gunfight when he was only 25 years old. Raymond Patriarca controlled New England's organized crime for many years. He was cold and ruthless. For most of his life, the law couldn't touch him. Bugsy Siegel brought organized crime to Las Vegas. He was flashy, violent, and had big dreams for the desert city. But his own crime family turned against him and had him killed. Sam Giancana took over Chicago's crime operations after Capone went to prison. He had connections to the CIA and the Kennedy family. Someone shot him to death in his own house. Albert Anastasia ran Murder Incorporated, the mob's professional killing squad. Even other gangsters were scared of him. He was shot to death while getting his hair cut at a barbershop. Dutch Schultz made money selling illegal alcohol. He made enemies everywhere, even with other crime families. When he wanted to kill a government prosecutor, the mob's leadership had him executed in a restaurant bathroom. Carmine Galante flooded American streets with heroin and made huge profits. His desire for more power got him killed while he was eating lunch, with a cigar still in his mouth. Tony Accardo quietly ran Chicago's crime family after Capone for many years. He was ruthless but smart. Unlike most gangsters, he died peacefully in his own bed. Harry Strauss was the most feared killer in Murder Incorporated. He used ice picks, ropes, and razors to murder people. The government executed him in the electric chair. Lepka Buckelter led the Murder Incorporated killing squad. He became the only major mob boss ever executed by the electric chair. Joe Colombo ran a big crime family and also became a public activist. Someone shot him while he was speaking at his own rally. Frank Nitti worked as Capone's muscle and later took over his operations. When he faced going to prison, he chose to shoot himself instead. Jack Dragna controlled Los Angeles organized crime for over 20 years. He kept a low profile, stayed disciplined, and other criminals respected him on the West Coast. Tommy Lucchese built one of New York's most well-run crime families. He was smart and strategic. The law never caught him. Vincent Call was a trigger-happy killer who started gang wars in New York. Someone gunned him down in a phone booth when he was just 23 years old. Angelo Bruno was called the Gentle Don because he preferred talking to violence. He was peaceful and diplomatic, following old-school ways. But even he couldn't escape when someone shot him in the head with a shotgun. Arnold Rothstein rigged the 1919 World Series baseball games and showed the mob how to make serious money. Someone shot him over gambling debts. Carlo Gambino controlled the most powerful crime family in America. He was quiet and patient. Unlike most mobsters, he died as a free man. Jack Legs Diamond survived many murder attempts. He was charming but reckless. Eventually, one bullet finally killed him. Joe Adonis was smooth, well-connected, and close friends with Lucky Luciano. The government sent him back to Italy, where he died far from the criminal empire he helped create. Joseph Bonanno controlled his crime family for over 30 years. He survived chaos, betrayal, and exile. He lived long enough to write about it all. Jimmy Weiss was Capone's biggest enemy in Chicago. He was bold and fearless. Capone's men gunned him down in a spray of bullets. Johnny Torrio created the Chicago crime organization and taught Al Capone everything he knew. He was smart and strategic. Unlike most gangsters, he retired and lived. Owney Madden controlled Harlem's criminal world with illegal alcohol, nightclubs, and violence. He quietly retired, which most of his criminal friends never got to do. Jake Guzik handled Capone's money. He didn't carry guns, he used bribes and accounting books instead. He kept the crime organization running from behind the scenes. Dion O'Banian was Chicago's top illegal alcohol dealer and Capone's bitter enemy. Capone's men shot him to death in his own flower shop. Aniello Delacroce was the feared second-in-command of the Gambino crime family. He was loyal and quiet. He connected the old-school mobsters with the newer generation. Waxy Gordon made millions selling illegal alcohol during Prohibition. Like Capone, tax evasion brought him down, not bullets. Ralph Sheldon worked with Capone's crew during the illegal alcohol wars. He dressed well and was deadly with a gun. Frankie Carbo controlled professional boxing for the mob. He fixed fights from behind the scenes. He went from being a killer to controlling who won and lost in the ring. Abe Relis was a top killer for Murder Incorporated until he decided to help the government. He mysteriously fell from a guarded hotel window before he could testify in court. Doc Stalker ran gambling operations across the entire country. He stayed quiet, got rich, and had good connections. He died peacefully in Israel. Lunges Willman was known as New Jersey's version of Al Capone. He was rich and flashy. Someone found him hanging in his own house. Big Jim Colosimo controlled Chicago's prostitution empire before Prohibition started. Someone shot him, which cleared the path for Capone to take over. Vincent Gigante ran the Genovese crime family while walking around the streets in a bathrobe, acting crazy. Was he really insane, or was it just a perfect disguise? Thomas Dewey was the prosecutor who hunted down New York's biggest mob bosses. The Mafia had good reason to fear him. Frank Costello was called the Prime Minister of the mob. He was smooth, political, and seemed untouchable. He survived an assassination attempt and walked away from crime. Joe Valachi was the first mobster to publicly break the code of silence. He told the government all about the Mafia and changed everything. Tony Spilatro enforced mob rules in Las Vegas. He was brutal, reckless, and everyone feared him. Someone beat him and his brother to death and buried them in a cornfield.